Hi there, this is Kaushik Ranchod. Welcome to our weekly immigration show. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about a case study where our applicant was from China and in this situation also had Department of State funding. We got the case approved, so you'll want to tune in because you'll want to see what we did to get the case approved. If you haven't already smashed that like button, you can post comments below and subscribe. But enough of that, let's get started. Okay, in this situation, this is for a J1 exceptional hardship waiver. So let's review the basic requirements to make sure you qualify. In order to qualify for a J1 exceptional hardship waiver, one of the requirements is that you have what's called a qualifying relative. Qualifying relative is a U.S. citizen spouse, lawful permanent resident spouse, or U.S. citizen child or lawful permanent resident child. Now you might be wondering, well, what about my baby on the way? If you're pregnant, your baby does not on the way count. However, we do include that as a form of exceptional hardship, which brings me to the next point, and that is that you have to have exceptional hardship. So exceptional hardship is the threshold requirement. That's why these are not easy cases to win, because USCIS loves to say, oh, well, mere separation is not enough. Well, if you're separated from your spouse, that to most of us would seem like exceptional hardship, but not to USCIS. USCIS will just state that's not exceptional hardship, and that's why we have to demonstrate that you would have exceptional hardship, and that's what we're going to talk about in this case study, how we actually did that. Let's talk about the process. We filed an application with the Department of State, and then we also filed the form I-612, and it's not just the form. You have to have a supporting argument demonstrating exceptional hardship. The way we do that in our office is through a legal brief. That way we can make the arguments where we feel like we're making the best arguments for you to demonstrate that this is beyond mere separation, that it rises to the level of exceptional hardship, and then USCIS will give their recommendation to the Department of State. The Department of State will evaluate your case, then also give their recommendation. Then if Department of State decides to approve the case, they'll send it back to USCIS for final approval, and then you would have a J1 waiver that is approved, which does not give you lawful status. That's important to note. It does not give you lawful status. It just waives the 2-year home residency requirement. So you still got to apply for a work visa, a green card, or if you're married to a U.S. citizen, applying for a marriage-based green card. There's a whole nother step after the J1 waiver. The J1 waiver allows you to stay in the United States. Let's talk about how we did this for a specific case which we just recently got approved. I'm going to start off by talking about the process and the timeline, because you might be wondering, well, how long are cases taking? On average, we're seeing cases take about 18 months. If it's a Department of State funded case or a government funded case, we're seeing it on the higher end. In this specific case, it was 2 years. Let's talk about the date. Here, the case was filed March 2020. Then USCIS sent their recommendation to the Department of State in May 2020. And then 2 years later, March 2022, they approved the case. So you can see 2 full years. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, is they wait too long to file their case, because you never know how long it will take for the government to process their case. I'm hoping cases are going to speed up. That's what USCIS has announced. Check out my prior video because I talked about that policy, but we haven't seen that in action yet. So plan ahead, plan accordingly. Now, we're going to talk about how we got the case approved. So this was a case for an applicant who was from China, and as I mentioned earlier, received Department of State funding. The U.S. citizen spouse is in the military, and they, of course, could not go back. If they went to China, they wouldn't be able to continue to be in the military if they went to China, so that's one argument that they made. Another argument that we made as well was they had a baby on the way, and that would be a form of exceptional hardship as well. In this situation, the client needed to remain in the United States with their child that was about to be born. Depending upon what country you're from, you may have country condition issues as well, such as in this case. So we also argued the country conditions that are inherent in China. That is an important factor that we like to include in any case that where it applies, because of course, if the US citizen had to go back to China or another country that had adverse country conditions, that would pose exceptional hardship. So in this case, you'll see we use three main factors. One, that he was in the armed forces. Two, that they had a baby that was on the way. And three, country conditions. So it was not like boom, like a magic, knockout punch. It was using three factors, like a boom, boom, boom. And that was what worked. So it was using three hardship factors to create an argument demonstrating exceptional hardship. And that's what most of our cases are like. It's not one specific factor. It's usually a myriad of factors. And by using a myriad of factors, we're able to demonstrate exceptional hardship. I hope this video served you. And if it did, smash that like button. And if it didn't, post a comment below telling me why, because I want to always improve. Be the best for you. I appreciate you. I honor you. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. You are amazing. By just watching this video, by bettering yourself, you're bettering your family. By bettering your family, you're bettering our country. Thank you. Bye for now. See you next week.